Dora, what's going on? So, today we're going to talk about my fight with alcohol. Yes, y'all. Sis been fighting. So, I'm going to give y'all some of my truths around alcohol. I'm going to share some things that have worked for me. And I'm just here to encourage you. All right? Encourage you to, one, look at yourself, and another one, to get help if you need it. Don't be afraid to get help. All right. So, let's talk about my issues with alcohol. So, I didn't know that I needed help until April 2019. All right. And what happened was I drank a lot of alcohol one day because I was hurt and I wasn't healed. And I drank all this alcohol and I ended up taking some pills. All right. That eventually led me to going to the mental hospital. Yep, I was in the mental hospital, and I am not embarrassed to admit that, because I really needed help. I needed help with my depression, which I was going through, and I also needed help realizing that I had an alcohol issue. That's when I really first found out that I had an alcohol issue, because my therapist, while I was there, encouraged me to recognize that I had an alcohol issue, because I honestly didn't know. All right, I just thought that I drank a lot and it was what it was, but that wasn't it. Now let me explain this to you. I don't just sit around and drink all day. Okay, that's not me. What I am is I binge drink. So let's say I have one drink, I have two drinks, I have three drinks, and then I drink a bottle. Like, that was kind of like my relationship with alcohol at this point. And it was a very, very painful process that I had to go through for a lot of reasons. Man, I really was, it's hard to kind of talk about it because, like, it's like, it makes me emotional. So I want to talk about, I was hurt, y'all. I was hurt deeply. And I really wish that I could explain the hurt that I felt at that time. But nothing could ever allow me to explain this, all right, to y'all, like, at this point, because I'm not there yet. I'm not completely healed from that. And that's something that I realized last night. Whew. All right. Took a breath. So let me just talk about the relationships that really, how do I say this? I was hurt, but I also realized I started to hurt other people with my drinking problem. And I want to be clear about who I hurt, because I think that's very important. One person that I hurt was my mother. So my mother, everyone knows my mother is like, she's my superhero, She's the person that I look up to. She's the person that, she's my best friend. Like, she's one of my best friends. Like, it got to a point where my mom was about to take off work for as long as she needed to come to Houston to babysit me so I wouldn't be drinking. Dang, this is deep, man. This is heavy for me. So at that point, I realized, I'm like, dang, I'm really hurting my mama. Like, my mom was not able to sleep a lot of nights. She spent a lot of nights just crying and just asking God, like, what did I do wrong? And I felt terrible about that. So, yeah, that's one of the people that I hurt with my relationship with alcohol. Second person was, I saw how it started to impact my son. So whenever I would go grab a bottle, my son would get to the point where he'd be like, "Mom, don't drink that. Mom, don't drink that." And my son's only 5. So hearing my 5-year-old say, Mommy don't drink that. Or one time that's kind of funny. I was about to take a shot or something, and my mom called, and my son told on me. He was like, Granny, my mom about to drink that stuff that you told her not to drink. And it was so cute, but it was like, dang, man, my son out here snitching on me, first and foremost. And furthermore, not only is he snitching on me, this is openly visible for my son to see. And then the third group was like my friends. So whenever I would drink, independent who I was with, especially like after April, whenever I would go out to drink, most of the time people know me as the fun person. I'm like kicking it, having a ball, yay, kicking it, right? Well, during the summer, I had so much built up anger due to my past relationship with my ex-fiance. And a lot of other stuff. So I'm not going to just blame it on him. Okay? I'm just not going to do that. That when I drank, it was just like, most of the time it was fun. But then there were some days where I had these episodes. And for me, episodes are defined. My episodes usually include drinking a lot and then either verbally saying something that's very offensive to someone. There was one scenario where I got in a fight at the club. Like, yeah, I fought 2 girls at one time. It was terrible. Like, and that's nothing to brag about. I'm 30, first and foremost. And not only am I 30, that wasn't my life. Like, I don't do that. Like, it's like people were like, what? Oh, yeah, that wasn't cool, right? So that was kind of like the thing that I saw, like these episodes that kept happening. All right. And then, with my friends being a big part of my support system, these are the people who supported me. They know all of what I'm going through. They gave me a pass most of the time. And I really do appreciate that because, like, my best friend, I have to mention Portia. Like, I remember him coming down to Houston. And he came to Houston to come check on his best friend. I got out of the mental hospital. Best friend came down here like on clutch, like, what's going on, best friend? Like, you good? And I remember we went out, we had a ball. I started to have an episode, and we went out. So it's crazy. My best friend told me to go to this one place. I didn't go. I went to my comfort zone. I went to a place where I always go. And like, y'all, I got drunk, right, real bad. And I'm in the car, and I'm like having an episode. I'm like, man, I don't want to live no more. I'm tired. Like, I'm over here literally fighting every day. Shit just kept happening. Like, not just regular shit, like deep shit. Like, okay, come on now, bro. Like, what did I do? Like, I feel like I'm genuinely a nice person. Like, man, what did sis do to deserve all of this storm I was going through at the time? And best friend was in town. So when he heard I was going through an episode, he came on clutch. He came out at my window. Like, dude hit my window so hard, I thought he was finna break it. Like, and he said, look, what we not finna do is we not finna do this right now. I came down here. I came to check on you. Now, what you finna do is get out of this car. We're gonna go back in the club, and we're gonna continue to drink. And I got you. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. You good, cause your best friend is here to protect you. And y'all, I said some hurtful shit to him that night. Like, whenever I notice one of the things about me when I drink, I say whatever will hurt that person, so they can leave me alone, hopefully, and I can drink some more. Like, that was kind of my thing. But in this scenario, I said all this stuff before we went back in the club, because I wanted him to, like, leave me be. Like, let me just have my moment. And he wasn't going at all. Like, he was not going. Other scenarios, like, in complete transparency, like, my best friend Brisha, Mona, they seen me through a lot of the episodes that I was experiencing. Like, man, you gotta give accolades where accolades due. Brisha done seen me do a lot of shit. Like, a lot of stuff, y'all. Like, sis be coming through clutch. But my relationship with alcohol actually put a gap with me and her as well, because, like, I was having these episodes on top of already dealing with depression, on top of, like, it was just too much. And alcohol wasn't helping the situation. That's a whole nother story. We're not going to get into the dynamics of me and my friendships. We won't do that. But what we will get into is, like, she literally come through clutch. And I've said a lot of things to her that were hurtful during my drinking episode. So the whole thing that I'm trying to say is, y'all, when I drink, I would say hurtful things to people that I really cared about. People that I really love. And it wasn't fair to them. Okay? Alcohol was never an excuse to get to a point where I'm saying hurtful things to people. Like, that just wasn't cool. So yeah, I was hurting people because I was hurting. Like, literally, you know how they say hurt people hurt people? That was the case here. Third person that held me down was my best friend Candace. So Candace lives in Little Rock, Arkansas, right? We go to my other best friend's wedding, which we both were in. Y'all, I get fucked up at the wedding. Like, drunk. Okay? When I got drunk at the wedding, my best friend drove me from Memphis, Tennessee, all the way back to Little Rock, Arkansas. And guess who had to come get me? My mama. Yeah. Roro pulled up. And she didn't get at me, like, at that moment. Because, one, I was asleep, to be honest. Like, but she definitely was there. And I say all that to say is I have a hell of a support system. Like, through all of this, I've had a strong support system who, it's like, they're not judging me for my relationship with alcohol. They want me to get help and get better. Like, literally, that's all they want. Nothing more for me but to get better and deal with whatever this issues that I have going on. Yeah, so now I want to talk to you all a little bit about how I've been getting help, because I think that's important. I was going through therapy. I went through a 90-day program with Tammy Coyne. She has a transformation program that's 90 days. Tammy is absolutely phenomenal. Like, she is thebum.com. And what I loved about her program was, it was not just about, like, it covered everything. Like, she is, like, I don't know. She covers so many things, and I'm actually gonna bring her one day to talk about that. But this program that I went through, I saw a lot of other programs. I didn't like those programs because what they required you to do is to stop drinking altogether. And at that point, I wasn't at that point. Neither am I at that point now where I'm just going, ooh, no more alcohol ever again. It was a process. But what she did with the alcohol issue that I was having is she encouraged me to consider why I wanted to drink. And then after, if I did decide to take a drink, to actually reflect on why did I even do it. Like, what was the reason? What was the root cause? And that really helped me to, like, be more mindful, but also to deal with what I had going on. And I have to be transparent. I've been doing really, really well with my alcohol. I haven't had an episode in so long. But yet, yesterday, I had an episode, y'all. I did. I'm being transparent. I did. I had an episode. And I feel terrible about it. I'm like, you did not come this far to take 2 steps forward and take 3 steps back. That's what I'm not about to do. So I just want to encourage you all, during this time of quarantine, do not allow your issues that you're dealing with, those different battles that you're dealing with, to fester back up. Don't do that. That's one thing we're not gonna do that, okay? Get some help. Like, it's okay to get help. It is okay to get help. And I really, really, really want people to understand it's okay to get help. So, love y'all and have a blessed day.